Today's video, I'm going to show you how to put the Automata box only together. So let's get started. See, I have Fusion open. I have all my parts over here already uploaded. First thing I want to do is where it says Untitled, I immediately want to go up and hit Save. And we're going to call this Automata Assembly. And since I have several of these, I'm going to call this number 2. I'll hit Save. So this is going to be my assembly file. I'm going to bring all my parts into my assembly file. So this is what we're going to call bottom up. So the first thing I want to do is I want to grab my top part. So I'm going to scroll down here until I find my top. And there's my top. And I want to bring that in. And there's my top piece. I like it just how it is. I didn't want this flat edge to be in the front. So I'm going to hit OK. Now, the first thing I want to do the minute I get my top in here, I want to ground it. So up here where it says finger box top, I'm going to right click on it. I'm going to go up to hit ground. And you'll see that little push pin right there. That means it's grounded. You need to have one part always grounded. Okay, we're going to zoom out a little bit. Next, I'm going to bring in my right side. So I'm going to left click, drag it in. And I like that orientation. So I'm going to just hit OK. Now, this one is already popped in where it needs to be. I have these yellow or orange work planes on here. So we're going to get rid of those. I'm going down on the bottom where it says display setting. I'm going to click on that. I'm going to go object visibility and uncheck that. All right, so there's my part. Now I want to connect these two together. So the first thing I'm going to do is go up to assemble, go to joint. There's my little dialog box. I want to make sure I'm going to go to motion over here and make sure that I'm at a rigid joint. Then I'll go back to position. And now what I want to do is I want to grab my little corner. So the first thing is I'm going to grab this corner right here. And I want to make sure I'm on this surface. So I'm going to just put my cursor on that surface, hold the control key down, and slide to the corner that I want. Next, that corner I know goes right underneath here on this corner right here. So I need to do some rotating around. So I'm going to rotate that around a little bit, and then we'll zoom in there. And I know that that corner has to go right against this corner. So I'm just going to come in here, move my cursor right on top of it, click. And once it goes in, it looks good. We'll hit OK and zoom out. Next, we're going to grab our left side. So I'll grab my left side piece. I'll drag it in here. Okay, that's looking pretty good. I'm just going to move it out of the way a little bit. We'll hit OK. I'm going to spin this around a little bit. Actually, we could probably zoom in a little bit first. I need to put this outside corner right there underneath that corner, just as I did the right side. So I'm going to go back up to assemble and joint. And we'll zoom out a little bit so we can see what's going on. And I'm going to put my cursor here. I'm going to hit Control, and I want to grab that outside edge. I'm going to spin around, and that's going to go right against that edge right there. And we'll zoom out before we hit OK. That looks really good. We'll hit OK. The next we're going to do is we're going to put our bottom on. So there's my bottom. I'm going to drag that in, and there's my bottom. We'll pull it down a little bit so you can see what's going on. We'll hit OK. So there's my bottom piece. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to lock one of these corners into the bottom here. So I'm going to go back up to assemble, joint. Now I'm going to grab that little corner right there. And again, I could always move my cursor right on here. I can hit Control, and I can slide to make sure I get the corner that I want. Zoom out. We'll spin this around. And that corner is going to go right against this corner right here. So I hit OK. With my cursor here, I can hit Control, grab that corner right there. Go to my home view, make sure everything looks good. Yep, it looks good. So we'll hit OK. The last thing we have to do is we've got to put our back piece on. So let's go back up here, and we'll see if I can find my back piece. There it is right there. So I'm going to slide my back piece in, and there it is. I'm going to slide it off my part a little bit. I'll hit OK, and there's my back piece. Now, it is orientated in the correct position, right? It is orientated in the correct position. So we need to put this in here. So I'm going to grab one of these corners. I'm going to plop it in against one of these over here. So let's spin this around. It might be a little bit easier to see what we're going to be doing. And this is going to go right in here. So now I got to figure out which corners I'm going to have. So go to assemble, joint. Let's grab that one right there. And we'll spin it around. And that one should go against. Hold my control key down. That one right there. Let's see. That looks good. That looks good. So we're going to hit OK. And there's my box all put together. So that's how you put the Automata box together.